Hey, what's going on, guys? It's your boy, NerdMode, and today we have yet again another episode of Would You Rather. This is a video series where I'll be going over approximately 5 questions and answering them in the most appropriate manner. So with the rules and guidelines reviewed, let's start off the episode. So coming in at our first Would You Rather question, I have, would you rather belly flop in a pool from a 10-foot diving board or hit the bottom of the pool while diving from a 10-foot diving board when the pool is only 10 foot deep? Now in this specific instance, I feel like I would much rather just do a belly flop in a pool from 10 feet, considering that I don't want to be diving into 10 feet of water as well as being 10 feet in the air and then having to smack my face into the concrete at the bottom of the pool. I feel like just doing a belly flop would be the better of two evils, considering that it's only really going to hurt for about 10 to 15 minutes, while smacking your head on concrete from 20 feet total is definitely going to do a lot more damage to you no matter how you look at it. Coming in at our next question, I have, would you rather not be able to taste or not be able to smell? Now, taking into account that smelling is one of your most redeeming qualities as a human when it comes down to the senses that you occupy, I feel like just losing the sense of taste would not be as bad, considering that that really only affects food in many cases. However, on the receiving end, if you got rid of smell, then you wouldn't be able to really enjoy what the food is, because you wouldn't have an initial idea of what it's going to taste like. You wouldn't be able to bring forward the ideas or the other food that is going to be within the object, and in many cases it just kind of would be an interesting way of looking at it. So I guess when it comes down to it, I feel like I'm going to subscribe to losing taste, considering that I feel like it's important by itself, but when it really comes down to which one I would rather choose, I feel like I'm just going to enjoy having the ability to smell things over the ability to taste things with my taste buds. Coming in at our third question, I have, would you rather have 50% of your body burned or 100% of your body tattooed? Now personally, I would much rather have 100% of my body tattooed, considering that having 50% of your body burned would be horrific in many cases. I don't even want to think of the lasting effects of having your skin burned by fire in the first place, considering that it definitely doesn't smell very good, and in many cases having 50% of your body burned in the first place definitely leaves you in an interesting position, especially when it comes down to it. Of course, you're going to lose a lot of the senses that you have in the first place, and in many cases there's definitely a lot of lasting effects that have been issued to you. Coming in at our fourth question, I have, would you rather eat a tablespoon of salt or eat a tablespoon of cinnamon? Now in many cases, both of these two options by themselves, especially when it comes down to it, are very good. However, eating an entire tablespoon of them maybe at one time would probably leave you in an interesting position to choose one that is better than the other. Now, I am of the mind that I would much rather eat a tablespoon of salt than a tablespoon of cinnamon, considering that many of you guys have probably seen the people that have tried to do the cinnamon challenge, and in many cases, many of them have failed to do it successfully. However, I feel like eating a tablespoon of salt wouldn't be as bad, considering that I feel like it would just be easier to digest in many cases, and I feel like you could probably get it down into your stomach a little bit quicker than you could cinnamon. So I guess when it comes down to it, I'm going to definitely go with a tablespoon of salt, and in many cases I'm hoping that it tastes a little bit better than I'm imagining. And finally, coming in at our fifth question, I have, if you were offered the chance, would you rather leave Earth forever and live with a race of aliens, or get to meet a race of aliens but stay on Earth? Now, of course, I feel like I would much rather have the opportunity to meet a race of aliens, but have the opportunity as well to stay on Earth, considering that I don't have huge aspirations to go into outer space. By all means, it's definitely a very interesting place, however, I just don't have aspirations to want to go into space. Now, alongside that information, there's just a lot of really great things that are here on Earth, and in many cases, I don't really feel like restarting my life when it comes down to joining a different race of people. But when it comes down to it, I feel like this is just the better option for me personally, and in many cases, I'm hoping that they'll have some really cool information that I can share with the human race. But anyway, guys, this has been this episode of Would You Rather. Of course, if you guys are interested in leaving some Would You Rather questions for the next episode, feel free to let me know in the comments below, as well as you can answer the questions for yourself by simply checking the description of the video. But anyway, guys, this has been this episode. I hope you enjoyed, and until the next one, this is NMO, and I'm going to be signing out, guys. Peace.